I've spent the last 18 months learning how to program, develop, and build actual software. And I've spent the last 6 months building a matchmaking platform for competitive Madden leagues. My platform had a beautiful UI, it had an active database, but it had 0 active users. And that's because I built it wrong. I built the product before I found the actual problem. Cautionary tale for indie builders. And that's what you can expect on this platform. This is TWON. I'm TWON. And I'll be building real software in public. I'm talking real launches, real revenue numbers, and real mistakes. I have no idea where this is going. I have no idea of what the final outcome will be. But like today, I'll be telling you about how a failed marketplace turned into the actual product that I'll be launching this month. So I hope it works out. I hope you stick around. I hope you find something useful in all of this. And we'll see where it goes together. But welcome to TWON. And subscribe if you feel inclined. All right. So before we get into the nitty gritty of why you're here, I presume, let me just give you a quick intro. You can call this cheesy, but I think it's important we get to know each other, or you at least get to know a little bit about me if you're going to be sticking around for this journey. So I'm Antoine. Twan's my nickname. And that little dude over my shoulder, that's Gummy, aka Antoine the Third. He's a big part of why I do everything that I do. And I felt like it was important to share my profile picture, share my Facebook, just so you guys know I'm real. This isn't some facade or some pseudonym. Antoine is me. Twan is who most of my close friends and family know me as. And I'm a solo developer, full stack, talking Python, Next.js, mobile, the whole thing. And for the last while, I've been building inside one world. And that's competitive Madden and College Football leagues. See, back during COVID, I got caught up in this wild community of online competitive gaming. We were all at home, nothing to do, nowhere to go, so I picked up gaming pretty heavily. And then something wild happened. I started becoming an organizer and running my own communities with some of my close friends. And 6 years later, I realized that there's a huge network and marketplace. So it was only kind of right that once I kind of stumbled into programming and developing, I figured why not build something for the community I'm most active in. So building the software for the commissioners running those leagues is actually a need. I'm starting this channel because I think the build is more interesting than the finished product. Everyone shows the launch tweet, but nobody shows you 3 ideas that died first, right? So the moment you realize the thing you spent a month on solves a problem nobody actually has, you try to hide that. I'm going to share it with you because I think there's a learning lesson for everyone. Learn from my mistakes. Don't do what I did. So that's why I'm going to be giving you guys the real timeline and not the highlight reel. So I'll be updating you all with my victories, my losses, my joy and my pain. But like I said, I'm going to share it all with you. All right. So let me explain to you my niche. And that is the Madden College Football NBA 2 competitive sports gaming world. I'm going to show you a little bit of what that world looks like, and you'll start to understand why I focused my building journey in this arena. So all throughout Facebook and Discord, you've got these very, very highly populated communities of online competitive users. I mean, just this Facebook group alone, there's almost 60,000 people. And there's tons of groups like these, right? 21,000, 36,000, 44,000. Like, and make no mistake, a lot of the same people are recycled and they all jump around from group to group. And they all exist within these same groups, but still, there's tons and tons of Madden and college football players that play competitively. So here's the world I'm building in. Competitive Madden and college football leagues run entirely either on Discord or Facebook or GroupMe, sometimes even group chats, right? And they consist of 4 to 32 teams. And typically they have one to 3 commissioners holding the whole thing together with duct tape and group chats. And the thing that took me way too long to understand is this. It's a user's market. It's not a platform's market. What I mean is, commissioners aren't sitting on piles and piles of applicants trying to sort through the good ones from the bad ones. It's the opposite. Good players, dependable users are scarce. Commissioners are constantly fighting to not lose the players they already have and not lose them, more importantly, to a rival league that's on a Discord server just next door. That single insight killed my original idea. You see, I built a platform that was kind of ignorant, even though I wasn't. I just wasn't thinking when I was in the building process of how actual reality looks, because I was just caught up in the build, right? And I was forgetting an important part about the actual world of competitive gaming leagues. And my original app was a marketplace. Leagues post open spots, very similar to what you see in Facebook and Discord. Players browse and apply. It was like a job board for Madden. It was like a LinkedIn for Madden. Classic two-sided marketplace. Classic two-sided marketplace problem. It's worthless until both sides show up in volume. And neither side shows up until it's already valuable. Nobody told me this, people. I mean, think back to those early Facebook days, right? Nobody was on Facebook, and I'm going to date myself, but we were all on MySpace. Facebook was for the college kids. I was still in high school at the time, right? You had to get a personal invite. It was secretive, but it wasn't the mega monster that it is now, or the meta monster, I should say, that it is now. And I didn't understand that. Now, I haven't kicked the can on my idea. But I realized it's going to be a slower burn. And I've got to get strategic about how I push people to the platform. It's the typical chicken, egg, dead end type of situation. But nonetheless, I figured out that something that all commissioners share is a unified problem. So I'm going to get to what I birthed from this mistake in a bit. But I just wanted to take a moment and share with you what this community looks like. You can go in any of these Facebook groups at any given time of night, and you'll see some random football talk, but somewhere, and keep in mind, a new Madden comes out in less than a month. And there's people still asking, are there any fresh leagues? Looking for Madden 27 users. There's users recruiting a month before the new game comes out for their league. Like, it is nonsense, the amount of work and effort that commissioners put into running their community. It's not nonsense, but it's a full-time job. I know, I do it. Which is one of the main reasons why I created these tools that I'm going to get into. Automation. But if you're a commissioner, an organizer, an admin of a league, you know it's a grind. It's a grind to get 5 to 32 grown men on one accord, on one schedule. So are you kind of starting to see how I got drawn to this environment as a builder? Because this is an underserved market. And there's people that are doing exactly what I'm doing, that are building tools, but nobody's really building tools that the market needs. They're building stuff that they want, right? The bells and whistles of the cool platform that tells stories about their league and all of that jazz. But those are nice to have, but they're not solving real problems. And there's a bunch. There's so many problems. So with that being said, yes, it's gaming. Yes, we're a bunch of nerds that like to play video games. But if you put your business hat on for a minute and you start to think about what I'm telling you, there are obvious problems that need solving for this diehard niche community. Insert me. And I'm not mad if you guys watch this video and you like to play sports games and start to say to yourself, hey, maybe I'll learn how to build an app or a web-based software or something that can serve this community too. Come on, I welcome it. I'm not holding anyone out. I'm not pushing you away. Like, the more the merrier. I think competition breeds better results. So here is kind of an idea of the Madden market. All right. So one thing I think I need to be abundantly, transparently, blatantly clear about is that on this channel, on my platform, I will shamelessly, undoubtedly plug my stuff. So don't be mad. Don't talk bad about me. I will continue to do it. I'd be a fool not to. Just want to go ahead and get that out the way, clear that up so you know what to expect. But with that being said, this is ConnectedClout. This is my marketplace that I made a terrible blunder on upon originally creating it. But that's okay. I'm showing this to you because I think it's important to understand what we're working with. So you can see here, right? Just through word of mouth, through, tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend, we were able to get some traction as far as individual users, somewhat, right? It was more or less like, hey, I'll come in. You can see a lot of these little player profile cards are incomplete, but you can gather the idea. Like, we've got some people here that at least come on and done the minimum of registering, right? There's some people here. But what you quickly start to realize is that there aren't a lot of leagues. And that's mostly on me. I realized that, the few leagues that I did recruit to come on the platform and help me test and be a part of like the founding league's inner circle, they didn't have a lot to pull from. They didn't have a lot to work with as far as their actual needs. So they just kind of, they just made their profile and left because there wasn't much here. There wasn't much activity going on. But you can see this is the marketplace, and I have been faced with a real problem: traffic, usage. So I went back to the drawing board. Not to a new idea, to the same market with fresh eyes. If commissioners aren't drowning in applicants on my platform or on any other platforms, what are they drowning in? Got to thinking, what pains do I feel on a day-to-day basis? Then it hit me. Turns out, chasing people down, chasing players to confirm if they're still in for the next season, chasing players for dues if they run a money league, chasing a guy who said he Venmo'd you 3 weeks ago and went dark. I tried a few versions of tools around this, a recruiting pipeline, an auto poster for Facebook groups. That would actually hit a wall fast because Meta killed the third-party access to groups API back in 2024. So there's no legitimate way to auto post in the Facebook groups anymore. Anyone telling you otherwise, they're either lying or scripting a fake browser, which gets your account banned. So steer clear of those. So that idea cut in real time. But the dues problem, that one had teeth. Now keep in mind, money leagues are super niche. They're a niche within a niche within a niche. Sounds like a winner the more I think about it. But it's not a convenience problem. It's a money and trust problem, and people already pay to solve money and trust problems. So that's what I built first. It's called PonyUp. Yep. Here's the idea in one sentence. PonyUp is a Discord native or SMS native dues tracker for these leagues that collect payment. Not a payment processor, a tracker. Because almost nobody in this world pays through Stripe. They either pay through Venmo, Cash App, or some other type of peer-to-peer. Apple Pay, you name it. So instead of fighting that, I built around it. And it's simple. It's a really simple process. You can manage it through the web, or you can manage it via Discord. But a commissioner creates a collection. As you see here, I'm getting ready for Madden 27 kickoff. I've got my dues. I've got a deadline. Now, once you've got your collection campaign created, you can individually notify or you can bulk notify, and they all get a direct message in Discord, or if you set it up through email, or if you set it up through SMS, they get a message from the PonyUp system informing them, reminding them that they need to pay prior to the deadline. So it takes the pain out of having to reach out to somebody one-on-one or putting them on blast through your profile saying they haven't paid. It takes all of that pain out of it. The bot, the system, does everything for you. And you're probably wondering, what does it look like on Discord? Let me show you. Here is your public accountability board. So now when you go to your announcements page or wherever you centralize league information, you type in a / command and it will immediately show for everybody who hasn't ponied up, who's waiting on your confirmation, and who's actually paid. And if I'm a user, all I have to do is click this pony up button, fill out a quick 2-question form explaining when you paid and how you paid, and it goes to the commissioner. And once the commissioner confirms, you're moved to the ponied up section and you're taken off the list of hasn't paid. It's so simple, it almost doesn't make any sense. But that's the world we live in. There's no real tool dedicated for this kind of community. There's other stuff, there's other things out there that you can use, right? More default generic type of things, but this is engineered, connected in the Discord for most of the leagues that run on Discord. And then the leagues that don't run on Discord, you can rely on email or SMS to use the tool. So that's what I built. And if you're looking carefully, just to connect it all back to the beginning, you'll see that this actually is wired through CloutBot, which is the bot for my marketplace. So when you sign up for PonyUp, you're also connecting to my marketplace. Now there's two separate bots. There's a standalone PonyUp bot, and then there's also the access of the slash commands through Clout bot. But you kind of see where my head is at. You don't have to register for all of the information for ConnectedClout, but if you sign up for PonyUp, you get funneled into the ConnectedClout ecosystem. So should you decide you want to join at a later time, you're already in the system. So I'm super proud to report PonyUp is live right now. Standalone, $9.99 a month. No strings to anything else I've built. And honestly, this channel exists because I want to show you the next 6 months in real time. I'm marketing this thing with basically zero budget. So whether Reddit and Facebook groups actually convert into paying commissioners, what the retention numbers look like a month in, all of it, I'm telling you, unfiltered. So if you're building something too, solo, bootstrapped, figuring it out in public, subscribe. Because that's exactly who this channel is for. And if you run a Madden or CFB league and dues collection has ever been a headache, the link is below. First cycle on me.